Wealth without happiness is like a garden without flowers, plenty of greenery, but no fragrance to delight the soul. Many chase riches yet arrive empty-handed in spirit. The secret is not in choosing wealth or happiness, but in living in a way that calls both to you, like twin streams flowing into one river of life. Today, I will share the timeless truths that open the gates to abundance and joy, because they are meant to walk hand in hand. True wealth begins in the mind. It is not first found in a bank account, a business, or even in a sudden windfall of fortune. All these are the outer shadows of something far greater, an inner conviction that you are supplied, supported, and guided at all times. The seed of every fortune is planted first in thought, nurtured in belief, and brought to harvest through faith-filled action. A person may work from sunrise to sunset and yet find themselves always in want, because their mind is a storehouse of fear, limitation, and doubt. Another may have very little in their hands, yet their thoughts are rich with expectation, vision, and trust, and soon their outer life begins to match the abundance they carry within. The mind is the true treasurer. It holds the keys to every vault of supply. Wealth is not simply a number, but a state of consciousness. When you see yourself as connected to an unlimited source, you cease to think in terms of scarcity. You do not measure your worth by what you own today, for you know your good can arrive in 1,000 unseen ways. You understand that every need has already been met in the invisible before it appears in the visible. This is the mind of wealth, one that sees beyond appearances into the realm of possibility. If your thoughts are filled with lack, no amount of labor can bring lasting prosperity. Lack in thought becomes lack in form, for the outer world mirrors the inner. But when your thoughts are filled with expectancy, when you think in terms of plenty, doors open where before there were only walls. People are drawn to you, opportunities present themselves, and your life becomes a field of continual harvest. To cultivate true wealth in the mind, you must guard the gates of thought. You must refuse entrance to fear, anxiety, or hopelessness. These are thieves that rob you long before the purse is empty. Instead, welcome thoughts of expansion, security, and increase. Let your mind dwell on the idea that there is enough, enough for you, enough for all, enough forever. Begin to speak the language of wealth even before you see it. Declare that you are richly supplied. Bless your present possessions, no matter how small, for blessing them increases their power to multiply. Gratitude is a magnet for more, and the mind that is grateful is already wealthy. Each day, affirm that all channels of supply are open to you and that you are guided to use your resources wisely. Do not think that wealth is only money, for it also includes ideas, relationships, health, and joy. A rich mind is inventive, inspired, and quickened with divine creativity. Such a mind sees opportunities in difficulties and gains in losses. It does not cling in fear to the present, but releases what no longer serves to make room for something greater. If you desire a greater income, first expand your mental picture of what is possible. Do not see yourself earning just enough to get by. See yourself as a channel for abundance, able to give freely and live fully. The universe meets you at the level of your expectation. Small expectations bring small results. Large expectations bring increase and overflow. The mind of wealth is not concerned with how the supply will come, only that it will come and come in perfect timing. This trust allows you to move through life with confidence and peace, which in turn draws more good to you. When your mind is trained to think abundance, you stop chasing wealth. Wealth begins to chase you. You are no longer a beggar at the door of opportunity. You become the door through which opportunity flows to others. You think richly, you speak richly, you act richly, and soon the outer life rises to meet the inner image you have held so faithfully. Happiness flows from harmony. It is not found in restless striving or in the constant rearranging of outer conditions, but in the quiet alignment of thought, word, and action with the laws of life. Harmony is the music of the soul when every part of your being moves in rhythm with the divine order. When there is harmony, happiness is not something you chase, it is something that naturally overflows. A life can appear successful to the eye, yet feel heavy to the heart when there is no inner harmony. The outer world may applaud, possessions may be many, and the days may be busy, but if there is discord in thought or a war in the emotions, happiness slips through the fingers like water. Harmony is the soil in which joy takes root. Without it, no amount of outer gain can make you truly content. Harmony begins in the mind. When your thoughts are filled with resentment, criticism, or fear, the inner music becomes discordant. The mind sends out vibrations that the body feels, the emotions react to, and life circumstances echo back. But when your thoughts are filled with faith, goodwill, and clarity, the melody changes. The outer world begins to match the calm, steady rhythm of your inner state. Happiness flows from harmony in relationships. When you hold peace in your own heart, you do not need to control others to feel secure. You can listen without judgment, speak without sharpness, and act without the hidden desire to win at another's expense. This kind of harmony draws kindness and understanding from others, for like calls to like. You cannot carry anger and expect to find joy in companionship. You cannot harbor grudges and expect the sweetness of connection. The heart must be clear for happiness to take its place. Harmony is also the alignment between your desires and your actions. Many feel torn because they dream of one thing but do another. The soul knows when it is out of step with its own truth. When your daily actions support your highest vision, a quiet happiness follows you, even in small, ordinary moments. A simple task done in alignment with your purpose brings more satisfaction than a great achievement done in conflict with your spirit. Your surroundings also play a role in harmony. The space you live in, the words you speak, and the company you keep all contribute to the atmosphere of your life. A cluttered environment can weigh on the mind just as a cluttered thought life can weigh on the soul. Cleanse your environment of what does not serve beauty, peace, and clarity, and you will feel a lightness that lifts the heart. Harmony is found when you trust life to unfold in the right way and at the right time. Anxiety breaks harmony because it resists the present moment and demands an outcome before its season. When you release the need to control every detail, when you believe that you are guided and cared for, peace enters, and peace is the very foundation of happiness. Happiness also flows from harmony with yourself. Many live in silent battle with their own being, criticizing their appearance, doubting their abilities, or condemning their past. This self-conflict robs the present of its sweetness. Harmony with yourself means accepting your journey, blessing your growth, and speaking to yourself with the same kindness you wish to receive from others. The one who is in harmony moves through the day without friction. Tasks are done without strain, conversations flow without effort, and even challenges become opportunities for greater balance. This is not because life is without difficulty, but because the heart is not divided. When mind, heart, and action agree, when what you believe, what you feel, and what you do are in one accord, happiness rises like a spring from within. It does not need to be chased, purchased, or earned. It appears unforced as the natural result of a life in harmony. Your words are creative commands. They are not idle sounds drifting into the air, but seeds that take root in the unseen and bring forth fruit in the seen. Every word you speak sets something in motion. Some words build, others destroy. Some open doors, others close them. Whether whispered in secret or declared aloud, your words carry the power to shape the very conditions of your life. From the moment a thought becomes a word, it is clothed in form and given a path to follow. Words are not empty, they are charged with the energy of belief. When you speak with conviction, your words go out as messengers, finding ways to return with the very thing you declared. The tongue is like the rudder of a great ship. Though small, it determines the course. A careless word can set the ship toward stormy seas, while a wise word steers it toward safe harbors. If you continually speak of lack, sickness, or defeat, you are commanding these very conditions to take shape in your world. Every complaint plants a seed for more to complain about. Every fearful statement invites the echo of more fear. But if you speak of abundance, health, and victory, you set in motion a law that draws these conditions toward you. The words you repeat become the reality you live. Your words not only affect your own life, but the lives of those who hear them. Words of encouragement can lift a weary soul into new hope, while words of criticism can crush the spirit and darken the mind. This is why the wise choose their words as carefully as they would choose their treasures. The sound of your voice can either be a blessing or a burden to those around you. To use words as creative commands, you must first become conscious of what you are saying. Many speak without realizing they are setting themselves against their own good. They declare they never have enough, and so they never do. They insist things never work out, and the pattern repeats. But when you begin to speak deliberately, blessing your circumstances, affirming your desired good, and declaring the truth you wish to see, you call forth a new order of life. Speak as if the good you desire is already present. Do not wait to see it before you declare it. Words spoken in faith are like keys that open doors to unseen supply. The moment you declare, "I am richly supplied," you send out a command that sets unseen forces in motion to fulfill that statement. The more you repeat it with belief, the faster it takes form in your experience. Guard your mouth in moments of fear, for it is then that the temptation to speak lack is strongest. A single fearful outburst can plant seeds you do not wish to harvest. In such moments, speak words of calm and trust, even if the appearance before you seems dark. Declare, "All is well," and hold to it. In time, the outer will reflect the inner command. Words also carry the power of release. When you speak forgiveness, you dissolve chains that bind you to the past. When you bless someone, you open a channel for blessing to return to you. The act of speaking is not merely sound, it is law in motion, shaping the very substance of your life. If you would change your life, change your words. Let them be filled with expectancy, gratitude, and truth. Let no idle or harmful phrase pass your lips without correction. In every situation, ask yourself, what am I commanding into my world right now with these words? When you realize the answer, you begin to speak with the authority of one who knows that every word is a seed, every phrase a blueprint, and every declaration a step toward the life you desire. Gratitude multiplies blessings. It is the key that unlocks the storehouse of heaven, releasing supply in ways that often seem miraculous. A grateful heart is like fertile soil, ready to receive more seed and bring forth a greater harvest. When you give thanks for what you have, no matter how small, you set in motion a law that draws increase to you. Gratitude shifts the mind from lack to plenty. Many focus on what is missing, counting their needs instead of their blessings. This attitude closes the door to greater good, for it trains the mind to see only emptiness. But when you deliberately give thanks for what you already possess, your attention moves to abundance, and abundance grows where it is noticed. The smallest coin blessed in gratitude carries the vibration of wealth and will draw its companions to join it. It is not difficult to be grateful when life is overflowing with visible blessings. The greater test is to give thanks when the cupboard seems bare, when the door of opportunity appears closed, when the answer to prayer is not yet visible. In such times, gratitude is a declaration of faith. It says, "I know my good is here, even if my eyes have not yet seen it." This kind of gratitude has creative power, for it is not based on circumstance, but on the certainty of divine supply. Gratitude also transforms the heart. A thankful spirit cannot hold resentment or envy for long. When you give thanks for the good in your life, you loosen the grip of comparison and judgment. The mind rests in the truth that there is enough for all. This state of peace opens channels for more blessings to come, for nothing blocks the flow of good faster than bitterness or complaint. The law of gratitude works silently, but surely. If you are thankful for a friendship, that relationship deepens. If you are grateful for your health, you become more aware of ways to strengthen it. If you give thanks for your home, you begin to notice new ways to beautify and improve it. What you bless increases. What you ignore or criticize diminishes in power. Even the challenges of life can be met with gratitude, for within them lie the seeds of growth and wisdom. To give thanks for the lesson hidden in the trial is to speed its passage and reveal its gift. The grateful heart says, "This too is working for my good." And in that faith, the situation begins to turn. Gratitude does not deny difficulty, it transforms it by seeing beyond the surface to the divine order behind it. Gratitude should be expressed often and aloud. Silent appreciation is good, but spoken gratitude has the power to shift the atmosphere around you. When you voice your thanks to others, you strengthen bonds and spread goodwill. When you declare your gratitude to the divine, you align yourself with the source of all blessing. The spoken word of thanks is like a magnet calling more good to your door. Make gratitude a daily practice. Begin the morning by naming the blessings that are already yours. Throughout the day, pause to notice and appreciate the smallest details: the sunlight on a wall, the kindness of a stranger, the warmth of a meal. End the day with thanks for all that has unfolded, even if some of it came disguised as challenge. As gratitude becomes the constant tone of your life, you will find that blessings seem to multiply without effort. Doors open, opportunities appear, and resources flow in unexpected ways. The world begins to feel generous because you have aligned yourself with the truth that it has been generous all along. Faith dissolves fear. Fear is the shadow that appears when we turn our back on trust. It thrives in uncertainty, feeding on doubts, imagined dangers, and memories of past disappointments. Faith, on the other hand, is the light that scatters this shadow. It does not argue with fear, wrestle with it, or reason it away. Faith simply enters, and fear disappears, for the two cannot share the same space. Faith is the inner knowing that you are guided, protected, and supplied by a power greater than yourself. It rests in the assurance that nothing can block your good and nothing can harm you that is meant for your growth. Fear says, "What if I fail?" Faith says, "What if I succeed beyond measure?" Fear imagines the closed door. Faith sees the open gate and walks toward it. Many believe they must wait for fear to subside before taking action, but it is often the step taken in faith that causes fear to dissolve. Fear will tell you to delay, to gather more proof, to wait until the way is certain. Faith steps forward into the unknown, trusting that each stone will appear underfoot as it is needed. Fear builds walls. Faith builds bridges. When faith fills the mind, fear loses its voice. A faithful mind rehearses the promises of abundance, protection, and guidance, rather than replaying the visions of lack and danger. It chooses to dwell on the outcome desired, not the outcome dreaded. This mental focus is not wishful thinking, it is spiritual discipline. You train your thoughts to align with the truth, and the truth has the power to cast out every shadow of fear. Fear tightens the body, shortens the breath, and clouds the judgment. Faith relaxes the body, steadies the breath, and clears the vision. In the stillness of faith, ideas come, solutions appear, and strength is renewed. Many find that what they feared most never came to pass, yet they suffered it in their minds 100 times. Faith saves you from this needless torment by anchoring you in the present moment where peace resides. Faith also calls for trust in timing. Fear wants to know when, how, and by what means your good will arrive. It presses for deadlines and panics when they are not met. Faith rests in the assurance that the right thing comes at the right time and that delays are not denials. This trust is a shield against the constant pressure to force results before they are ready. Fear often magnifies small problems until they seem insurmountable. Faith sees even the largest difficulty as a temporary condition, already dissolving under the law of good. Faith looks at the same storm and says, "This too shall pass, and when it does, I will be stronger and wiser." It keeps its gaze on the rainbow, even as the rain falls. The cultivation of faith is a daily practice. You strengthen it by recalling past times when you were provided for, guided, or protected. You feed it with words of truth, with affirmations that declare the presence of divine order in your life. Each time you choose faith over fear, even in a small matter, you build the habit of trust. Faith does not require you to feel fearless in every moment. It only asks that you place your trust higher than your fear. You may feel the trembling in your hands, but you still speak the words of courage. You may hear the whisper of doubt, but you still take the step forward. In this way, fear is not fought. It is dissolved, for it cannot stand in the steady light of faith. Generosity keeps prosperity circulating. Prosperity is not a stagnant pond to be guarded and measured. It is a flowing river meant to move freely through your life and into the lives of others. When you give, you keep that river moving. When you withhold out of fear, you cause the current to slow, and eventually, the waters grow still. Generosity is the act of opening the channel so that more can flow in and more can flow out. The law of circulation works silently but surely. What you send forth returns to you, multiplied. This is not only true in money, but in time, kindness, encouragement, and opportunity. The one who gives freely is never empty for long, for they have placed themselves in harmony with the rhythm of the universe, which is one of constant giving and receiving. Many hold back from giving because they fear they will not have enough for themselves. This fear closes the door to greater supply. The act of giving, even from a small store, is a declaration of faith that you are connected to an unlimited source. You say, "I can give because I know I will be replenished." This faith keeps prosperity alive and moving in your life. Generosity also changes the heart. When you give without the expectation of return, you free yourself from the grip of greed and the anxiety of holding on too tightly. You become a channel rather than a reservoir. A channel never fears running dry because its purpose is to let the water pass through. As the water flows, it is constantly refreshed. Prosperity is not measured only by what you have, but by how much good you can release into the world. The generous soul may give a coin, a kind word, or a helping hand, and in doing so, they send out ripples that return in ways they could never predict. A gift of money may return as an unexpected opportunity. A gift of encouragement may return as loyal support when you need it most. To keep prosperity circulating, you must give with a willing spirit. Reluctant giving carries the vibration of lack and does not have the same power. When you give with joy, you align yourself with abundance. Joyful giving says, "There is more where this came from," and the universe responds to that declaration by bringing more. Generosity also clears the way for new blessings to arrive. Just as you must empty a vessel before it can be filled with fresh water, you must release what you no longer need to make room for what is next. This is why many find that when they give away what they no longer use, whether possessions, resources, or even outdated beliefs, new forms of abundance quickly follow. You cannot truly keep prosperity without sharing it. Holding on too tightly creates stagnation, and stagnation eventually turns to loss. Think of the breath. You cannot inhale without exhaling. To try and keep every breath would be to suffocate. Prosperity works the same way. The giving and receiving are part of one continuous movement. Generosity does not always require great wealth. A smile, a listening ear, a sincere blessing, all these are acts of giving that keep the current of good moving. When you give from the level you are at, you prove your readiness for more. The one who can be trusted with little can be trusted with much. When you make generosity a way of life, you find that prosperity becomes a constant companion. Opportunities come when you need them, resources appear when you call for them, and support arrives in unexpected forms. You become part of the great exchange of good that never runs dry, for you have chosen to keep the river of prosperity flowing, both into your life and out into the world. Release resentment and envy. Resentment is the refusal to let go of a hurt. It replays the offense again and again in the mind, building a wall between you and your own happiness. While you may feel that holding resentment punishes the one who wronged you, in truth, it punishes you, for it is your heart that carries the weight. The energy that could be used for creativity, love, and opportunity is drained away in silent battles with memories. Envy is born of the belief that someone else's good means less for you. It is the thought that another's success has stolen from your supply. This is a lie of the sense mind, for the source is infinite and never runs short. The good that belongs to another is their own by divine right, just as your good is yours. When you see someone prosper, it is not a sign that you are being deprived, but a reminder that abundance is possible and present for all. Releasing resentment begins with the willingness to see the situation differently. Instead of viewing yourself as a victim of another's actions, you can see yourself as a student who has gained wisdom through the experience. Every difficulty has the potential to polish your character and strengthen your faith. When you release the offense, you do not condone it. You simply choose not to carry it forward into your future. Letting go of envy requires trust in divine timing and order. You can affirm, "What is mine by divine right is now on its way to me," and release the need to measure your progress by anyone else's life. Envy dissolves when you recognize that the universe is not a competition. Each soul has its own path, its own lessons, and its own appointed season for increase. When you hold resentment or envy, you are in agreement with the very conditions you wish to avoid. You keep your attention fixed on them, and by the law of mind, what you focus on expands. But when you release these emotions, you break the magnetic tie to them and free yourself to attract the good you truly desire. One way to dissolve resentment is to bless the person or situation that has caused the feeling. This may seem difficult, but blessing is an act of release. You can say, "I bless you and release you to your highest good." These words cut the cords that bind your energy to the past. Likewise, when envy rises, bless the one who has what you desire. Say, "I am grateful for their good, and I know mine is on the way." Resentment and envy close the heart. Release opens it. A closed heart cannot receive fully, for it is guarded and suspicious. An open heart receives freely, trusts freely, and gives freely, which keeps the current of good flowing. The moment you let go, you make room for more peace, more joy, more prosperity. Life becomes lighter when you refuse to carry these burdens. Your mind is clearer, your spirit is freer, and your energy is no longer tangled in battles that belong to yesterday. What once felt like a wound becomes a doorway to greater understanding, and what once felt like a lack becomes an opportunity to witness the abundance that was waiting for you all along. Expect good daily. Each morning when you rise, you stand at the threshold of a new day, holding the power to shape it by the attitude you carry. Expectancy is the magnet that draws experiences to match its own nature. When you expect good, you open the door for good to enter. When you expect trouble, you send out an unspoken invitation for it to appear. Life meets you at the level of your expectations. Expectation is not mere wishing, it is a quiet certainty, a settled knowing that good is on its way and that the day holds treasures waiting to be discovered. It is the attitude that walks into each moment looking for blessings, not problems. The one who expects good will find opportunities hidden where others see only obstacles, for the mind is tuned to seek and recognize the evidence of its belief. To expect good daily is to live in agreement with the truth that the universe is friendly toward you. This does not mean that every moment will be without challenge, but it does mean that every challenge will contain something useful, something that serves your highest good. The expectation of good keeps you from sinking into discouragement when things do not appear to go your way. You can say, "I may not see the blessing yet, but I know it is here and it will reveal itself." Many live in the habit of expecting difficulty. They rise already bracing for what might go wrong, rehearsing possible disappointments before the day has even begun. This posture draws to them situations that match their mood. The law of mind responds impartially. Whether you expect joy or trouble, it will work to fulfill that picture. To change your life, you must change your daily expectancy. Expectation is a seed planted in the morning that grows throughout the day. If you plant the seed of good expectation, you will notice small kindnesses, unexpected gifts, and timely encounters that you might have missed in a doubtful state of mind. If you plant the seed of fear or resentment, you will gather more of the same. The harvest depends on the seed. One way to strengthen the habit of expecting good is to affirm it aloud before your day begins. You might declare, "This day is filled with blessings. I am guided, protected, and supplied in all that I do. Everything I need comes to me in perfect time and perfect way." Such words set the tone for the day and align your mind with the law of increase. Expectation is not passive. It moves you to act in ways that align with the good you anticipate. When you expect success, you prepare for it, you make space for it, and you meet opportunities with readiness instead of hesitation. When you expect kindness, you speak kindly yourself, creating an atmosphere for kindness to return. Your actions follow your expectations like a shadow follows the body. When doubt tries to creep in, remind yourself of times in the past when good arrived in unexpected ways. Let those memories be the evidence that strengthens your present faith. The more you rehearse the truth of past blessings, the easier it becomes to expect them again. Expecting good daily keeps your heart open and your mind alert to the ways the universe is working in your favor. You no longer walk through the hours as if waiting for disappointment to strike. You walk as one who is certain that life is rich with gifts and that they are being revealed to you moment by moment. Act as if your desire is already yours. This is the language of faith in action, the visible demonstration that you believe your good is not only possible but present. When you act as though your desire has already been fulfilled, you align your thoughts, words, and behavior with the reality you wish to create. You move from longing into possession, from waiting into living. To act as if is not to pretend or to force a falsehood. It is to live in the consciousness that what you have asked for is already provided in the unseen. Just as a seed contains the promise of the tree, your desire contains the promise of its fulfillment. You do not wait for the tree to grow before caring for the soil. You prepare now, knowing that the harvest is inevitable. When you act as if, you carry yourself differently. Your speech changes, your choices change, and your energy changes. The one who believes they are loved speaks with warmth and openness. The one who believes they are prosperous walks without the heaviness of lack. The one who believes their opportunity is certain makes preparations as if the appointment has already been set. This state of readiness invites the outer world to match the inner conviction. Acting as if moves you out of the energy of need. Need says, "I don't have it yet." Faith says, "It is mine now, and I live accordingly." The first keeps your desire always in the future. The second brings it into the present, where it can take form. You cannot stand at the closed gate of your good and wait for it to open before stepping forward. You must walk as though it is already open. This principle works because life mirrors back the vibration you hold. If you hold the vibration of one who already has, life responds with the circumstances of having. If you hold the vibration of one who waits and wonders, life reflects the experience of waiting and wondering, acting as if is the bridge between the invisible and the visible. For example, if you desire a new position, prepare yourself as though you already hold it. Dress the part. Speak with the confidence of one who has been entrusted with the role, and order your schedule as though the opportunity has already arrived. If you desire a loving relationship, make room for it in your life. Clear space in your home, in your time, and in your heart, so that when it comes, it finds a welcome place prepared. Acting as if also requires you to release behaviors that contradict your desired state. If you say you are abundant, but act in constant fear of spending, you are sending a mixed message to the universe. If you say you are healthy, but continually speak of illness, you are living in contradiction to your goal. Faith is consistent in thought, word, and action. One of the most powerful aspects of this practice is the change it creates within you. As you act as if, you begin to feel as if, and feeling is the fuel that powers manifestation. Your emotions begin to harmonize with your vision, and this harmony draws your desire into form with greater speed and clarity. Acting as if shifts the question from "when will it happen" to "how will I live now that it is here?" It lifts you above the anxiety of timing and places you firmly in the certainty of possession. From that place, your steps become surer, your words more aligned, and your presence more magnetic to the very thing you seek. Obedience to inner guidance. Within every person is a still, small voice, the gentle whisper of divine wisdom that knows the way. It does not shout, argue, or force. It speaks with quiet certainty, offering direction that is always for your highest good. This voice is the compass of the soul, and obedience to it is the key to walking the straight path to your desires. Inner guidance often comes as a sudden knowing, a subtle nudge, or an unexplainable pull toward or away from something. It may arrive as a strong feeling to act quickly or a quiet assurance to wait. To obey this guidance is to trust that there is a plan already unfolding, a plan that sees beyond your limited view. Many miss their good because they dismiss this inner direction, reasoning it away with logic or ignoring it out of fear. The mind wants proof before it moves, but inner guidance often asks you to step into the unknown. Faith begins where the evidence ends, and obedience to that inner prompting is the act of walking by faith, not by sight. When you listen and obey, you align yourself with divine timing. You avoid detours that would waste your energy, and you arrive at your destination with greater ease. A single step taken in obedience can save years of wandering in the wrong direction. What seems small at the time, making a call, visiting a place, speaking a word, can open doors that human effort alone could never unlock. Obedience to inner guidance often requires courage. Sometimes the instruction will lead you away from the familiar, asking you to release something you thought you needed. Other times it will lead you toward an opportunity that feels larger than your current self-image. The ego resists, but the spirit knows you are ready. When you move forward in trust, you grow into the very person the guidance is preparing you to be. It is important to create stillness so you can hear. The voice of guidance is not found in the noise of worry or the chatter of doubt. It is heard in moments of quiet reflection, prayer, or contemplation when you turn inward and allow yourself to be receptive. As you practice listening, the voice becomes clearer and the prompting more distinct. Obedience is not always about grand actions. Often it is in the small, everyday responses. It might be the sudden thought to take a different route, the urge to send a message of encouragement, or the decision to pause before speaking. Each act of obedience strengthens your connection, training you to respond quickly and confidently when larger directions come. Inner guidance will never lead you to harm or into fear. It will always lead you toward peace, expansion, and alignment with your true purpose. Even if the path feels uncertain in the moment, obedience will reveal that every step was part of a perfect design. Looking back, you will see how each prompt was a thread in the tapestry of your life, weaving together the people, places, and events that brought your good to pass. The more you follow this guidance, the more it becomes your natural way of living. You begin to move with the flow of life instead of against it. Obstacles dissolve before you, opportunities appear effortlessly, and you find yourself in the right place at the right time with the right people. When you live in obedience to inner guidance, you no longer need to force or chase your desires. You are led into them with grace, arriving not through struggle, but through a quiet certainty that you are walking exactly where you are meant to walk. Bless what you have now. The quickest way to invite more good into your life is to appreciate and bless what you already possess. Blessing what you have now is not merely an act of gratitude, it is a spiritual law in motion. When you look upon your current possessions, relationships, opportunities, and even challenges with a heart full of blessing, you shift the vibration around them, magnifying their value and drawing forth more of the same energy. Blessing what you have now is an acknowledgement to the universe that you are a faithful steward of the good already entrusted to you. When you affirm, "I bless this home," you are not only appreciating the roof over your head, you are creating an energetic invitation for greater comfort, beauty, and abundance to flow into your life. When you say, "I bless this money," whether it is a single coin or a large sum, you are affirming that it is enough for now and that it will multiply. This act of blessing changes how you see your circumstances. Instead of focusing on what is missing, you begin to notice what is already present. That shift in focus is powerful, for what you focus on expands. If you continually think about what you lack, lack becomes your experience. But when you bless what you have now, you place your attention on abundance, and abundance begins to answer. Blessing is also a way of speaking life over what you possess. Words carry energy, and when you bless something, you infuse it with positive, life-giving power. A simple meal becomes a feast when you bless it. A small income stretches further when you bless it. A humble beginning grows into something remarkable when you bless it consistently. Even the things in your life that seem imperfect can be blessed. You can bless a job you don't fully enjoy by saying, "I bless this work as a stepping stone to my greater good." You can bless a strained relationship by affirming, "I bless the love and understanding between us, now increasing." Blessing does not mean you are settling for less. It means you are elevating the energy of what is, so it can evolve into something better. When you bless what you have now, you are living in harmony with the principle of increase. You are showing the universe that you recognize value in the present, and this recognition draws more value to you. It is like watering a plant. Your blessing is the nourishment that allows it to grow. If you withhold the blessing, you are withholding the very substance that allows expansion. Blessing also softens your heart and removes feelings of envy, comparison, and resentment. It turns your attention inward to what is yours instead of outward to what others have. It reminds you that your journey is unique and that your blessings are arriving in perfect timing. By blessing the smallest details of your life, you create an environment where greater blessings feel welcome to arrive. It is a beautiful practice to walk through your day consciously blessing everything you encounter. Bless your morning cup of tea, your clothing, your work, your car, the people you meet, and even the street you walk on. Bless your bank account, no matter the number. Bless your body for carrying you through the day. Every blessing you speak sends a ripple of positive energy out into the world, and that ripple returns to you multiplied. Blessing what you have now is not dependent on conditions being perfect. It is a choice to honor the good in its current form while holding the vision for more. It is an act of faith, declaring that what you have is already a manifestation of divine supply, and that even greater expressions of that supply are on their way. Avoid idle complaining. Complaining may seem harmless, but it carries a hidden cost that drains energy, lowers vibration, and blocks the flow of good into your life. Idle complaining is the habit of speaking negatively about situations without any intention of finding solutions. It is a form of dwelling in dissatisfaction, and the more you indulge in it, the more it colors your perception of life. When you complain idly, you are rehearsing what you do not want, giving it energy and attention. The words you speak carry creative power, and when they are wrapped in frustration or irritation, they amplify those very emotions. Over time, idle complaining builds an atmosphere of lack, resentment, and limitation, making it harder to see possibilities and blessings that are right in front of you. Idle complaining also conditions the mind to focus on problems rather than opportunities. The more you talk about what is wrong, the more your mind searches for evidence to confirm it. This becomes a cycle where your thoughts and words create a reality that mirrors your dissatisfaction. By contrast, choosing not to complain idly forces the mind to look for solutions, beauty, and reasons to be grateful. Avoiding idle complaining does not mean you must suppress your feelings or ignore legitimate issues. It means you speak with purpose and intention. You may acknowledge a challenge, but instead of lingering in irritation, you move toward constructive action or reframing your perspective. There is a vast difference between stating, "This situation is difficult, but I am finding a way forward," and endlessly repeating, "Nothing ever works for me." The energy of idle complaining is contagious. One person's constant negativity can shift the tone of an entire conversation or environment. It drains not only the complainer, but also those who listen. When you make the choice to refrain from idle complaining, you become a positive influence in every space you enter. People begin to associate you with peace, encouragement, and solutions rather than with heaviness or criticism. Idle complaining can also close the door to new opportunities. The universe responds to your vibration, and when your words continually affirm lack, injustice, or dissatisfaction without faith in improvement, you are broadcasting that you are not ready for better experiences. On the other hand, when you speak words that affirm possibility, even in challenging moments, you send out a signal that you are prepared to receive greater good. One effective way to avoid idle complaining is to develop mindfulness about your speech. Notice when you are about to make a negative comment and ask yourself, "Is this helpful? Am I contributing to a solution?" If the answer is no, you can choose silence or shift your words to something constructive. Over time, this habit strengthens, and your conversations become more uplifting and purposeful. It is also helpful to replace idle complaints with gratitude. Whenever you feel tempted to speak about what is wrong, pause and find something in the moment to appreciate. This shifts your energy immediately and reorients your mind toward abundance. Even in situations where change is necessary, beginning from a place of gratitude allows solutions to flow more easily. Avoiding idle complaining frees you from being a prisoner of circumstances. It empowers you to take ownership of your energy and words. You begin to notice that life feels lighter, relationships improve, and opportunities arise more naturally. The discipline of guarding your speech in this way is not about denying reality, but about shaping it through conscious, creative language. It is about choosing words that build rather than break, that uplift rather than drag down, and that open the way for more joy, peace, and prosperity to enter your life. Picture your good clearly. The mind is a powerful projector, shaping the experiences you draw into your life. When you picture your good clearly, you create a mental blueprint that the subconscious and the universe respond to. Clarity in vision is like giving precise coordinates to a ship. You know exactly where you are going, and every action begins to align with that destination. Without a clear picture, the mind drifts, easily distracted by fear, doubt, or other people's expectations. To picture your good clearly means to see, in your imagination, the exact life you desire as though it were already unfolding. You give form and detail to your vision, allowing it to become vivid and emotionally charged. Instead of a vague wish for more money or better health, you see yourself enjoying financial freedom, feeling light and energized in your body, or living in harmony with loving relationships. The more specific and sensory-rich the image, the more deeply it imprints upon your subconscious mind. The subconscious does not distinguish between imagined and actual experience. It responds to the emotions and images you hold most consistently. When your mental picture is strong, you begin to attract circumstances, ideas, and opportunities that match it. You might feel sudden inspiration to take a certain action, or you may find that resources and people appear seemingly by coincidence, all in alignment with the vision you have been holding. Clarity also brings stability to your faith. When you know exactly what your good looks like, you are less likely to be swayed by temporary setbacks or appearances of lack. Even if the present moment seems far from your ideal, you can return in your mind to that clear inner picture, feeling its reality more than the current limitation. This is how you live from vision instead of from circumstance. It is important to picture your good without mental clutter. Doubt, fear, and contradictory images weaken the signal you are sending out. If you imagine wealth but also picture yourself constantly struggling with bills, you are sending mixed messages to your mind and to the creative forces around you. By focusing only on the desired outcome, you keep your vision pure and strong. Visualization works best when you engage your senses. Picture what your good looks like, but also feel it. Hear the sounds, smell the scents, notice the textures. If your good is a new home, imagine walking through the rooms, feeling the floor beneath your feet, smelling fresh flowers on the table, hearing the laughter of loved ones filling the space. If your good is a thriving business, picture the satisfied faces of clients, the hum of activity, and the sense of accomplishment at the end of each day. The act of picturing your good clearly is not daydreaming without purpose. It is intentional mental creation. You are impressing upon your mind a new reality that will eventually manifest in the outer world. Just as an architect begins with a drawing before the building exists, you hold your vision firmly before it appears physically. Every great creation begins this way, with a clear mental image and unwavering belief. As you practice this, you may notice subtle shifts in how you think and act. You start to make choices that align with your vision almost automatically. Old habits that do not match your desired outcome begin to fall away, and new patterns that support your good emerge naturally. Your energy rises, and you carry yourself with the quiet confidence of someone who knows where they are headed. By holding your good in a clear mental picture, you give your life direction, purpose, and creative momentum. You become less reactive to external conditions and more anchored in the inner certainty of your vision. This clarity becomes a guiding light, drawing your desired experiences closer until they take form in the physical world. Balance work with rest. In the pursuit of success, it is easy to glorify constant activity and overlook the importance of rest. Many believe that the more hours they put in, the faster they will reach their goals. But without balance, this approach leads to exhaustion, diminished creativity, and eventually burnout. True productivity comes from a rhythm of focused effort followed by intentional renewal. Just as the heart alternates between contraction and relaxation to sustain life, so must we alternate between work and rest to sustain excellence. Balancing work with rest is not about working less, it is about working better. When you give your body and mind the rest they need, you return to your tasks with greater clarity, energy, and efficiency. Pushing yourself to operate without breaks may seem productive in the moment, but over time, it drains your vitality and clouds your judgment. Rest replenishes the inner reserves that high-quality work requires. Work and rest complement each other. Rest allows you to process experiences, integrate new learning, and refresh your creativity. Some of the best ideas and solutions arise not during hours of intense concentration, but in moments of stillness, while taking a walk, lying in bed before sleep, or sitting quietly with a cup of tea. When you step away from a task, your subconscious mind continues to work on it, often delivering insights when you least expect them. Balancing work with rest also honors your physical health. Long periods of stress and overwork elevate cortisol levels, weaken the immune system, and disrupt natural sleep cycles. These effects may be subtle at first, but over time they erode both your well-being and your ability to perform. Prioritizing rest is an act of self-respect and self-preservation, ensuring that you have the stamina to pursue your goals over the long term. In our modern world, rest is often misunderstood as laziness, but in truth, it is a strategic investment in your future success. High achievers in every field, from athletes to entrepreneurs, know the value of recovery. Athletes build rest days into their training schedules because they understand that muscles grow and strengthen during recovery, not during exertion. Likewise, mental performance improves when we allow time for the mind to restore itself. Finding balance requires mindfulness and discipline. It means learning to listen to your body and recognizing when you are pushing too hard. It involves setting boundaries around work hours, saying no to unnecessary commitments, and protecting moments of quiet reflection. It is not about escaping responsibility, but about ensuring you can meet your responsibilities with focus and strength. Rest can take many forms. It might be a full night of deep, uninterrupted sleep, a short afternoon nap, a leisurely walk in nature, or a day spent away from screens and noise. It can also mean mental rest, stepping back from constant thinking, planning, and problem-solving to simply be present in the moment. The key is to allow yourself to fully disengage from work during these times so that you can return refreshed. Balancing work with rest creates a sustainable rhythm that supports both achievement and enjoyment. You move through your days with more energy, more patience, and more joy. Instead of running on empty, you operate from a place of fullness. This balance does not slow you down. It helps you move forward with steady, lasting momentum. When work and rest flow together in harmony, life becomes more than a race toward achievement. It becomes a well-lived journey. Wealth without joy is poverty. Wealth, in its truest sense, is meant to enrich life, not just bank accounts. Money can purchase comfort, security, and opportunities, but if joy is missing, even the most lavish possessions feel hollow. Without joy, wealth becomes an empty shell, a collection of things without the life force that gives them meaning. True prosperity is not simply the accumulation of material assets, but the experience of fulfillment, gratitude, and happiness that comes with living a life that feels abundant on every level. Many people chase wealth believing it will automatically bring joy, but joy is not a guaranteed byproduct of money. Without a heart that can appreciate and savor blessings, riches lose their sparkle. A grand home feels cold without laughter echoing through it. A luxurious meal is tasteless without someone to share it with. And expensive clothes cannot warm a soul that is heavy with discontent. Joy is what transforms possessions from mere objects into treasures, and without it, even abundance feels like lack. Wealth without joy often becomes a burden. The constant worry about losing what has been gained, the fear of being taken advantage of, or the endless pressure to maintain a certain lifestyle can rob a person of peace. In such cases, the very wealth that was supposed to create freedom instead builds invisible chains. Joy, on the other hand, brings lightness to life, allowing wealth to serve its proper role as a tool rather than a trap. The richest life is one where material abundance and emotional well-being coexist. Joy can be found in simple pleasures, a sunrise, the warmth of a genuine hug, the sound of children playing. When these experiences are cherished alongside material comforts, wealth becomes truly meaningful. It is not the size of the bank balance, but the richness of the moments that determines whether a person feels prosperous. True wealth flows from a state of inner abundance. A joyful spirit can make even modest means feel abundant, while a joyless heart can make millions feel like nothing. When joy is cultivated through gratitude, kindness, and meaningful relationships, wealth, whether great or small, takes on a deeper purpose. It becomes a resource for creating beauty, helping others, and experiencing life fully. Wealth without joy is like a feast without flavor. It may look impressive, but it does not satisfy. A life filled with possessions yet empty of laughter, connection, and meaning is, in truth, a life of poverty. Joy is the invisible currency that makes wealth worthwhile. It is what allows you to truly enjoy what you have, no matter the amount. When joy is prioritized, wealth becomes a servant to happiness rather than the other way around. You are able to use resources to enrich experiences, nurture relationships, and support causes that inspire you. The focus shifts from having more to living more, from guarding possessions to creating memories, and from fearing loss to embracing life. Wealth without joy is not prosperity. It is an illusion of abundance. True richness is the ability to wake up each day feeling grateful, alive, and connected, regardless of the number in your bank account. Joy is the measure that turns material wealth into a meaningful life. In the end, wealth finds its true value only when it is infused with joy. Money and possessions can enhance life, but they cannot replace the deep fulfillment that comes from living with gratitude, purpose, and connection. Joy turns what you have into enough, transforms abundance into meaning, and ensures that prosperity enriches both your outer and inner world. Without joy, wealth is nothing more than numbers and things. With joy, it becomes a living expression of true abundance.